Is my voice is loud and clear? Okay, done guys. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the next topic. So before moving on to the next topic of Power Query, majorly we are focusing on the Power Query. And just as a small recap, what all we have covered in the last class and what we are going to cover in the today's class. These two we are going to discuss. And now within the Power Query, we are having the here total view, different first, as everyone knows, this is the Power BI user interface, and we are having the different types of ribbons or anything. Now, this is called as the upper part is called as ribbon, and this is are called as views, and these are called as panes, as everyone knows. Now, in this, we are having the report view. Report view means where we are going to have the various plots, and we are going to report our data. And the second one is table view, and where we are going to make in terms of we are going to see what are the data we have loaded here. We are going to observe the table here, the entire data. And the third one is called as model view. Model view means where the tables are connected like this. This is the schema. So within the SQL, how we are having the schema, here also we are going to have the schema. We are going to connect to the two columns by using the foreign key, primary key, how we are having in the SQL. Similar way, here also we are going to connect between the tables. What is the use of connection between the tables means we can apply the merge function like in the pandas merge function or SQL join functions are there. Na? Same thing we can do here. That is the advantage of modeling. Okay, this comes under the part of the modeling. Okay, and modeling you can view in the model table. So by default, when you load the multiple tables, some of the tables, the Power BI will capture automatically. It will only take the connections. Okay. Now, in the today's class, okay, and not recording, 1 minute. Yeah, it is getting recorded. Panda, it is getting recorded. Okay. Now, coming to the next one is in today's class, just I'm trying to load the data. What are the data we have done in the previous classes? Okay. So we are till now, what are the things we have covered? Just I'm trying to take a notepad. Sorry, already notepad is there now. So here till now, what are the things we have covered means first one is called as plots we have covered. After the plots, we entered into the tables. What are the various tables are possible tables? And from there, we have seen the matrices. Matrices means subcategories, multiple subcategories within the table. One table within that again subtable. So that is called as matrix. And cards. So what are the different types of cards you can have? Numerical card, text card, date card. You can represent what are the card you are interested. And filtering. Filtering is extracting the data based on the condition. And within the types of filtering is basic filtering, advanced filtering, and type N filtering. Top N filtering means in terms of top categories. You are going to get the top categories, top 5 or top 4 or bottom 5, bottom 4 similarly. Okay, first records or last records. And filter can be applied on a single visual on that particular visual or entire page. The filtering will be applied at a time on the entire page, or filter can be applied on the all the pages at a time. So we have discussed all these things. And particularly coming to the last class, we have discussed about the measures, and within the measures, implicit, explicit. Implicit means automatical taking, that is summation. And explicit means we are going to write the functions and we are going to create them. And here, what are the measures we are going to do means statistical measures only. In the entire Power BI, we will do the statistical measures. What are the statistical measures we are having? Like mean, median, mode, or standard deviation, variance, range. Only these measures only we are going to calculate. Okay, all the measures the entire data analysis will be done using statistical data analysis. Whether if you do in the Power BI also, only those measures will come. Whether you do in the Pandas also, only those measures will come. Both the answers are same. One is data analytics with Python. One is data analytics with Power BI. That is the only difference. Okay, now you are doing the data exploration in the Python. For example, you want to do the same data exploration within the Power BI also, you can do the within the Power BI, right? Now, here you are going to check the unique values. You can check with respect to the value counts, okay? And you can even check with respect to what are the data you are interested, and calculated measures where we are going to majorly focus on the calculate function, and within the calculate function we are going to use the this. Next, I have told you what is the difference between the calculated measures versus calculated columns. Measure means single value, column means for each record the value will be represented. Next, DAX functions. What are the different types of DAX functions? And till now we have executed all these things by using the various data sets. First, we have taken the data set called as employee data set, which is HR related. Okay, HR related employee data set, and where their salaries, we are having their salaries, age of the person, experience, or date of joining. Okay, date of joining means from that date to till today, if you calculate, you are going to get the total how many months they have worked or how many days they have worked, everything you can get. Okay, in that particular company, because date of joining of that particular company only will be available. So again, we are having in terms of department, in which department they are working. Okay, at the same time we are having the gender like this. So first we have covered the employee data set, as everyone knows this one, particularly 9 AM batch and both 10:30 batch. Up to here we have done common for both the batches. And one more data set we have worked called as Superstore. Superstore means where you are having the multiple segments, and within the segments categories, subcategories, and sales of that one, and it is completely related to sales data. So one data set we have worked on the HR, and one data we have worked on the related to sales. And in the last class, what are the DAX functions we have selected? Some examples, few examples I have taken, that two small data sets I have selected, okay, randomly. And even the group by also I have created only now. In front of you only I have created the data set and we have checked that data set. So just for understanding purpose, these small examples, some examples I have selected, some data sets for example purpose. These are not having any meaning. Okay, basically these two are only data sets. Only these two will be considered as projects. But small data sets, whatever we have selected for each of them, for the understanding date purpose exclusively, for understanding text categorical. So some data sets are used for practice purpose, right? Now, in the last class, we have discussed one of the data set called as, this is the data set. In this data set, I have created in terms of like this. So here we are having the M, F, and we are going to B fill. B fill means above value only, we are going to fill the below value. Generally, okay, whenever it comes to the time series data, okay, like stock market or traffic, traffic data, or whichever is dependent on the time variable, okay, some sequential data will be there. Okay, we are having the sequential data, non-sequential data. So sequential data means order is important. The whatever the order you are having, that particular order is important. For the sequential data, in the sequential data, if anything missing values are there. For example, let's take an example like this. You are having initially date of 2/1/2024. Okay, that is January. Okay, let us take example of January 1st. Okay, January 1st to 2, you are having the dates up to 29. In between, this value is missing. Are you going to fill with mean or median or anything miss? No. So automatically in the sequential order, we are going to fill in which date it is missing. Now, similarly, for example, this is missing. I'm going to fill with 16/01/2024. Okay, example purpose. Now, similarly, here we are having in terms of values, some 34, 56, 88, some values you are having. And in that, some of the values you are having missing values are there. Okay, some of the missing values are there. Again, you are having the values like this. Okay, some values you are having like this. Let's take an example. Okay, in between some values are missing. instead of filling the values, for example, let us assume this is the sales data or this is the stock data, some companies data. Okay, stock price. Sales data, why you are not considering sales data, sir? Sales data is not a sequential data, no? For example, let us go with the sales only. Car sales, how many number of cars they have sold in the on the each day wise. Okay, now you are having the data like this. In between, some of the data was missing. Generally, what we have to do is whenever the data miss, first priority always goes to collect the original data and replace. In the least case, okay, you have to fill statistically. Second priority goes to the statistics. Now, while filling with statistics, instead of filling any value of your choice or instead of filling with the mean or median, generally what we'll fill is the previous only will be continued. We are going to continue the previous value because we don't know the what would be the value. So here, if particularly when it comes to the time series data where sequential order data is there, we are going to use B fill. Before value, fill that one. Why? Because, for example, I'm having the population data. Okay, let us assume population data from 1947 to 2025. Year-wise data I'm having with me. Now, if I take year-wise, in that 1982 year is missing. Assume. Now, if I take the average value, it includes the 2025 data, na? 2024, 2023. Obviously, values will be very big values, na? From 1982 to 2020, very big number will be there, and average number also will get very big number. And that number, if you replace in 1982, 1981, population would be around, assume, I don't know, example purpose I'm saying, 1981, India's population is 30 crores, assume. 1983, it is 36 crores. Now you are filling the overall data average. Overall data average is 56 crores. Means 1981, 30 crores. 1982 is missing. 1983 is 36 crores. And you are having now till average value. You are going to get average value of 2025 till 2024. If you include everything, average value got as 56 crores. Now, if you go and fill this value here, 56 crores. Because 1981 to between values also will be there, guys. I'm not writing, but values will be there now. The values, if you take all the values and if you are getting average value 56, if you write here 56 crores, means 1981 30 crores will be there, 1982 56 crores will be there, again 1983 36 will come. If you apply the line plot, 1982 will be abnormal data. What you are going to say from that, sir? Exactly the 1982 more number of people has born, and in 1983 everyone has died. We are not going to say like this, right? Then in that case, what we have to go? Means either you have to take the above value and below value and you have to take the average of these two only and you have to fill here, or simply B fill. Okay, either these two you take, not entire data, above value to that below value for that particular record which is missing, for that above value, for that below value, divide by 2. For that you have to write the code, or simply B fill means above value will be filled below. Sir, if I apply line plot now, what happens? Flatness only will be there now. Flatness only will come. But when you are going with the, for example, if I take the here line plot, if I apply the line plot and after applying the line plot on this, okay, for example, line plot, flatness is there also, not a problem. But instead of this, if you are having like this and then that is better or flatness is better here. Population is increasing only, never the population decreases. You'll not find much difference in the flatness. But instead of that, if you give any average value, so this is the problem, guys. And one of the student will ask me the question yesterday in the chat box. One of the student, I don't remember the name, Now, whatever the box plot is going to give, the outlier, upper limit of outlier. For example, this is upper limit. Upper limit is 100. Outlier is 130. And average value is 65, assume. Now, instead of replacing 130 directly to 65, it is better to replace up to here now. The distance, see, you are not directly bringing the replacement with respect to this value. Abnormal only, wrong data only. You know this wrong data exact value means directly replace. That is the best option. For example, if it is a data entry mistake, then what you are going to do is you are just replacing that value. For example, recently you have worked on the hackathon project. In that, student score is there. In that, outliers are available. Some of the student scores values are more than 100. Then what you have to do in that case? Generally, it is a mistake, data entry mistake. It is pure data entry mistake. You know that it is not going to cross more than 100. So it is a data entry mistake. So data entry mistake means you have to replace with the original data. But original data, you are not working in a company. When you work in a company only, you will get the original data. Now in the interview also, they'll ask this question. How to replace the missing values? How you are going to approach the data cleaning? How you are going to approach the data cleaning? And how you are going to replace, how you are going to treat the missing values along with the outliers. These two questions are mandatory questions in the interview, particularly for data analyst role, even for data scientist also. But for data scientist, after learning advanced concepts, Lilliput concepts, this is going to be Lilliput concepts. But for data analyst, this one level of because every data set, guys, majorly why data scientists will not get these type of questions, because data scientists are going to work on the large data, at the same time unstructured data also. But data analyst will purely work on the structured data. He will never work on the image data. He will never work on the text data. So he will work only on the structured data. Structured data you have received means it is going to be unclean only. By default, unclean. Unclean means 100% in that outliers will be there, missing values will be there. Mandatory in the real life. Pure unclean data you are going to get. The most challenging part within the data analyst role is data cleaning. Okay. And you are going to spend more amount on data cleaning only. In the, what are the lifespan of project is there now? In that, you are going to spend very good amount on time on data cleaning. Data cleaning will not be completed in just half an hour or 1 hour. And most of the students, this is the common mistake which they are doing is, they are assuming that project will be completed in 1 day. Okay, project will not be completed in 1 day. They are assuming that like BTech projects or what are the classroom projects we are discussing now, they are assuming in the real time also same level of project will be there. And one student has asked me the question, sir, for the given data set, we can frame multiple questions now. What is the restriction? Very good question, basically. That question is important. That is the reason I'm discussing in the class. So he asked the question, for a given data set, I can frame even 200 questions, 300 questions also, no, sir? Yes, absolutely, you can frame. Per day, for example, one question, to form one question in your mind and to see the answer, how much time it will take for one question? Let's take an example. One question, according to you. From your point of view, you write. From your point of view only, you write. Okay, I'm writing from my point of view to formulate one question in my mind, new question to think. First thinking will take time for me, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. For that question, whatever I have taught, again to do that one, it will take again 10 minutes. Okay, whether it is in the Power BI or whether to write in the code in the Python also, it takes another 10 minutes. So overall 20 minutes for each question I'm taking on a 20 minutes. Okay, if you're experienced person, it is going to be 15 minutes. Still experienced person, 10 minutes. If you are a very basic fresher, maximum time also you'll take to 30 minutes. Okay, let us take from your point of view only 30 minutes. One question, 30 minutes to think and to execute. Overall 30 minutes, one question. Okay, per day 8 hours will be there. How many questions will be formulated in 1 day then? 16 questions. Okay. 16 questions will be formulated. Done. This is okay for everyone. Apart from your lunch break or snacks, 8 hours you are going to work. 16 questions you are going to formulate. Okay. Now 16 questions you are going to work for at least data analytics project overall. Apart from data cleaning, only data analytics only will be done for 1.5 months. 1.5 months means 6 weeks. Per week, 5 days. Saturday, Sunday holiday, na? 5 days. 6 into 5. 30 days. 30 into 16. Per day 16 questions, na? Same data set only, na? How many questions you are going to formulate then? 480 questions. Is that okay? You are not going to complete all the 480 questions in single day, na? Per day you are going to formulate only 16. And from 16 you are going to write the observations. Like that. Experienced people will formulate still more questions, or they'll complete either the project before itself. 480 questions can be formulated. I told you, can you formulate 480 questions on the employee data set? Is that possible? Data set to data set, it depends. It's all depends. Is the point is clear? So we are not going to complete everything in one day. Now, coming to this second one is how to treat this outliers. Many students are asking this common question. They are stopping here. Okay. Now, outliers. What are the outliers we are having? Now, outliers in terms of, like, if you are going with the hackathon project, exam score, where it is an outlier. If it is a wrong data, every outlier is not abnormal data. You have to understand behind that. Okay, you have observed outlier. After seeing the outlier, what is the reason behind the outlier? What is a reason? Reason. You have to think the question, what is reason? If it is data entry mistake, what is reason is the question. If the answer for this question is data entry mistake, if answer is data entry mistake, data was entered wrongly, then for this answer, solution is replace. It comes under replace because it is a data entry mistake, wrong data. How you are going to treat the wrong data? In the same way. How to treat the wrong data means replace. Now, how you are going to replace? Two options are there. To replace them, either we are going to replace in terms of original value, replace with either original value. With original value, you are going to replace, or statistical value. Okay, either you are going to replace with original value or statistical value. Out of these two, one. Okay, now in your case, data entry mistake is there. Okay, or something, in your next question. What is the reason? If data entry mistake means we are going to do like this. If it is not data entry mistake, it is really happened. Like in the tips data set. In the tips data set, really they have given the more amount of tip. It is not a data entry mistake. If it is real, if it is real data, really happened, you should understand data set to data set, you have to understand. If it is really happened, then in that case, what we have to do? You have to retrain them. Means you have to keep as it is and you have to work. While retraining, okay, your analysis will be impacted. Okay, now what happens? We are going to do in this case, without outliers, analysis will be separate. With outliers, you have to do analysis, and what is the difference you have found, you have to explain. What is the difference? For example, in one of the restaurant, last 1 month, okay, generally the restaurant per day average sales would be around 5,000 rupees per day. Assume, take an example. One day what happened is, one order they have got 50,000 worth. Means what are the sales per day they are having, into 10 times they have got the order. That particular restaurant people has got the order from a nearby company for their party. Okay. Now they have done the, on the day, what they have done is says they have done. And they have given the order. That was happened in the entire month, one time only. Now, what I'm going to do, after the, once I receive the data, while doing the analysis, I'm going to say that clearly, sir, in the last 1 month, you have got a special order. If I consider your special order also, your average sales would be this much. If I don't consider your special order, then generally your average sales would be this much. With outlier, without outlier, both I will try to explain to the client. If client says that, yeah, SRK, generally we'll get every month this type of orders. Do you think that client will say only directly in the meeting only? No. Every day some meetings will be there. Na? Every weekend one client meeting also will be there. Before your final analysis, in between you will get some doubts. You want to ask these questions to the client. Assume. You will write that questions also in the notepad. Which questions has to be asked to the client? We will write them. And who is direct having the connection to the client? He will ask the questions on your behalf. You may not ask. You are junior. You may not ask. If you ask some questions, sir, juniors also, if they speak to the client, what happens, sir? Juniors, or for example, let us take like this. If you take the 10 years kid as a prime minister, what happens? What happens? He is also a human being only now. He will also think now. Directly, if you make him as a PM, what happens? Instead of thinking about the public policies, he'll think about the holidays. How to give more number of holidays, how to add the more number of games in the school. He'll start thinking about that one. Because his Spencer clause will be like that only. Na? For 10th class student, IAS will not come and discuss, right? 10-year-old kid. So, for everything, some maturity is required. Who is having the experience in that area? Is the point is clear? Similar way, even to discuss with the client, if you ask silly questions, then the client will get a feeling that, he is asking these many questions, whether he knows properly or not, he will get a doubt. That is the reason generally juniors will not discuss with the client directly, because they'll ask the silly questions. Once they get an experience, one project or two projects, once they complete, they'll get a complete idea. Then they can discuss. That is the reason they'll ask the experience. Experience increase the maturity about the project, not your individual behavior. Okay. Now, so coming to this, here what happens to the retrain means we are going to keep the data and we'll ask the client in the meetings. We'll ask the client, sir, are you going to get this type of orders every month? In a year, how many times you will get this type of orders? We'll ask all these questions to the client restaurant owner. If he says that, SRK, it is common for us, sometimes we'll get that type of orders, miss, then we'll keep the data as it is and we'll execute that one. He says that very rarely we'll get SRK. Okay. Then we will separate them. Without that, we'll do the analysis. It's all depends, guys. Yeah, the point is, again and again, I'm saying common thing is depends. See, these many examples I have told. Every example did I include it in one data set only? No, that is not possible. In one data set, one thing will be there. In another data set, another will be there. What are the 10:30 batch students are there? Do you think that same way 9 AM batch was there? No. If same way 9 AM batch is there, hackathon project is data analytics project. Data analytics project means who has to attend more? 9 AM batch students should attend more, or 10:30 AM batch should attend more? 10:30 is data science batch. 9 AM is data analytics pure batch. Who has to attend more and who has to submit the assignments? Generally. But how many students have submitted from the 9 AM? How many students have submitted from 10:30? What's this indicates? Example. Pure example once again. Right? So every batch will not be the same way. Do you think that this 9 AM batch generally from, if you want, I will show the classroom also. Total number of students, how many from 9 AM? If you want the percentage also, I will show you now. Chi-square test also, let us apply. Whether their proportions are same or different. How many students of 9 AM batch are there overall? Both offline and online. And how many students are there in the 10:30, both offline and online? What is the proportion? Whether their proportions are same or not. Let us apply the chi-square test. Then when you apply the chi-square test, it says that unequal proportions means both are not same. Then what we are going to understand from 9 AM? Okay, data analytics batch only will be like this, miss. Do you think that data analytics of this particular batch is same as every batch? So it's all depends now. It's all depends, right? Every batch will not be the same. Every batch students also will not be the same in the same way. Right? Simple logic. Very simple logic. Okay. It's all depends on the business problem. Once again, I'm saying that one. Now in the chat box, one of the student is asking the question, sir, some outliers can be replaced with the 99 percentile instead of to upper limit or to reduce the huge skewness. Now, even if you replace with the 99 percentile or 98 percentile, what are the values if you replace also? Still outliers in the box plot, outliers will be reflected. How we are calculating the outliers means based on the Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR only. Na? If it again the value, what are the replace values? Still it is crossing. Then what is the use of replacing? You can keep the original one as it is only. Na? Then why to unnecessarily replace? Ankur, is your question is clear? Is your question is clear? So now coming to the, so retrain will be, and within the retrain also, with data, without data also, you do the analysis. If I include this one, what happens if I don't include this one? Now, okay, again, some students will ask me, okay, sir, keep this one side. First tell us the answer of hackathon. In the hackathon, what we have to do, first tell us that answer. Now, you will ask the question for the given data set. You will be more interested for the given data set. What is the answer is your requirement. My requirement is for general data set, what we have to do is my requirement. If I share any other data set also, how you will answer is my requirement. For you, what are the data set was given? For this, what is the answer? First you tell us. This is your requirement. Means temporary solution you want. For this data set, if you get the answer, that data set will be completed. After that, if I share one more data set. Now, once I complete the Power BI and everything, after completing, I will say that, yeah, guys, Power BI was completed. Somewhere the Power BI will be completed. Na? Once I say the Power BI is completed, you guys will say, yes, yes, okay. Now, if I share one data set to you, okay, as an assignment, you will ask some doubts. Okay, I will answer the doubts. After 5 days, okay, after answering your doubts, what are the assignment you have shared to me and what are the assignment I have shared to you? In that doubts you will be there. I will discuss with you. Completed. Okay, done. Now, initially, what are the data set was shared to by me? In this data set, you are going to have 100 questions. Okay, you are going to do analysis of 100 questions, out of which you are going to ask 30 questions you are going to ask for me, right? Done. 30 questions you are asking me and I'm answering them. Assume I have answered them. Okay, answers are completed. Now, data according to you, project was completed and you have selected one data set for your resume and you have executed. In that also you are asking some questions for me and I will answer for them. Okay, you will write the resume project also completed. Up to here, okay. After 10 days, if I share one more data set, after 10 days, if I share one more data set, according to you, Power BI is completed. Now, if I share one more data set, again, you are asking the questions means, then what is the use? Questions asking is not a wrong one, guys. Just a percentage of questions. Or total, you are executing 100 questions. In that, if you ask 10 questions or something like this, means 90% was done by you. That is not a wrong one. 100% you can ask. But you should know out of how many questions I have done my own, how many questions I am depending on others. The ratio of how many questions you done divided by how many questions you ask. You done divided by you ask. If it is ratio is greater than 90, greater than at least let us go with the minimum only 75. 3 by 4th. If you have done 1 by 4th, if you are asking the others miss, okay. At least this one. But what happening is above part number is less, below part number is more. I'm asking the ratio should be more than 75. You are bringing less than to 1. The ratio of you done divided by you asked. Okay, number of questions. Questions will be there with you now. In that, how many questions was solved by you? How many questions you are depending on others? This is the one. Okay, make sure this. Now coming to the, as I told you, in cross-sectional data, wherever it is not dependent on the time series data, for that data, you have to fill by using the B fill. For cross-sectional data, you have to fill the missing values by using the in terms of mean or median. Okay, whichever is non-sequential data, like earlier you have executed students performance data. In that case, you have to go with mean or median. If it is a categorical mode, for statistical replacement. For wrong entries, exact values. Directly you have to replace with the exact values. For sequential data, go with the B fill. B fill means previous value, try to fill for sequential data. Because if you take the average value, center value will become the abnormal value. Is the reason is clear? As I have told you, population data as the example. If you consider the population, automatically 1982 population, if you do the average with 2024 population, automatically that value will be very high. In between value will come very high. Sequential order now. For example, stock market is there, stock price is there. In the stock price, you are having 5 years data. In the last year data, some value is missing. That value, how you can replace with the average value of this year's data? At that time, the value will be different now. Recently, the stock price will increase very high. At that time, 5 years back also, the stock price will be the same. How you can replace with the average of this value? Okay, it's all again. Sir, for example, I have received only last 5 days data. 5 days data you have received. In the 5 days data, stock price you have received. Can I replace with the mean now? Maybe in these 5 days only, it has went suddenly very high. Now, sir, how I can know all these things means, that is the reason, business problem. First, you should know what is stock market. When you are working on that, you should know before to that, what is stock market. And in the stock market, what can happen? In a single day, how much value can increase or how much value can decrease? In an entire 5 days, how much maximum variation can be there? Maximum can be there. Every stock cannot be that one. Maximum can be there. What are the possibilities are there? All these things you have to understand in the business problem, not now. Is the points are clear, guys? So when to use the B fill and what about the outliers? Everything is clear. These are all the part of the data cleaning, and data cleaning also you can do in the Power BI by using the Power Query. Okay. Now coming to the next one. Okay. Now, so here we are going to work on the group by function. I have explained right for you in the last class, group by. This is the group by function. And now I'm going to explain for you the pivot and unpivot. And I have even told you in terms of transpose, right? How to do the rows to column, columns to rows. That is called as transpose. Now, here we are going to discuss the pivot. Now, what is meant by pivot? So here I'm going to take the year. Okay, what are the year is there? And here I'm going to take the month, January month, Feb month, March. Let's take an example. This is 2022. And here you are having the 12. This is 16. This is 18. Like this. This is 2023. This is 15. This is 17 and this is 19. Some numbers, random numbers I'm writing, guys. Just I'm creating a data set example. For example purpose, I'm writing some data, random data. Okay, 45, 50, 52. Okay, you are having the data like this. Assume this is the data. Now my requirement is, this is the tabular format. Now my requirement is in such a way. Okay, this is, I'm going to save the data for loading in the Power BI, the same example. Okay, now here I'm going to show you my requirement, my output. What I'm going to get means, I want the output like this: year, okay, year, that is month, this is month, and this is sales. Okay, 2022, and month is Jan, this is 12, 2022 Feb 16, 2022, this is March is 18. Yeah, knowledge students. Sorry, it was distracted in between. Now it is clear. Knowledge students, would you guys please confirm? Now, now it is clear. Yeah, yeah. Ayush, uh, guys who are having the doubts, please click on the chat box. Type on the chat box what are the questions you are having. Okay. Now, for example, if you are having the data like this is the data where you are having in terms of year column, month column, and sales column. Okay. That is 2022. And month is Jan, followed by February, followed by March, and sales is 12, 16, and 18. And similarly, 2023, where you are having the again Jan, Feb, March, and 15, 17, and 18. And similarly, you are going to take 2024. Okay. And this is again Jan, Feb, March. Okay. Again, this is 45, 50, and 52. Okay. So you are having the data in this way. Right. Now, if you are having the data in this way, and this is the data, and this data will be converted to like this. This is called as unpivot. This is called as unpivot. And this data, if you convert like this, it is called as pivot table. Okay, if you are having the data like this, and this data you are converting like this, means it is called as pivot table. And if you are having this data and you are converting like this, means it is called as unpivot. Pivot and unpivot. Right? Now, so first let us take the pivot table separately, and we'll do the unpivot to pivot, and we'll have that one also separately. Let us load this data where in the sheet number 3 you are having the pivot. So pivot to unpivot I'm going to do. So I'm going to rename this sheet name to unpivot. Example 2 unpivot. And this is the data where I'm having the unpivot data, and I want to convert this one, rename to pivot. This we are going to convert to pivot. Okay. Now let us load this data. I'm opening the Power BI as system was shut down. Yeah, rows to columns, columns to rows is called as transpose. For example, if you are having like this, okay, this data, if you are having like this, now this same data, if you are doing the transpose, what is the transpose? Means rows to columns, means you are going to get the year, and followed by 2022 this side, followed by 2023, followed by 2024. This is and this side you are going to get Jan, Feb, and March. Rows to column, columns to rows. Or simply if you consider this one also, you are having 2022 here now, you are going to get here year, month, says. The first column will be converted as, sorry, first row will be converted as first column, followed by second row. What is the second row? 2022. 2022 Jan 12. If you convert first row to first column, second row to second column, third row to third column, like that. If you create, then it is called as transpose. It is clear? Rows to column, columns to rows is called as transpose. Your question is clear? Whoever the student has asked the question. Akash. Done. Now in the Power BI, I am trying to load this data. That is, I am trying to extract the data. So I'm going to import the data example. The Excel name is example. And within that, I'm having the sheets. What are the sheets means? Unpivot, pivot. So I'm going to load this unpivot and pivot. These are the two tables. And I'm going to click on the pivots. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the transform. Once I click on the transform, first let us start with this one. So which is you are having the year, month, okay, month names, and within that the data. Now this one you have to convert to pivot and pivot. So now as I have told you here, this one will be converted to what? Like this. From here to here, converting from here to here, it is called as unpivoting. So let us do the same thing. How we are going to do the unpivot means here in the transform, you will have the option to unpivot columns, or simply you can right click on that, either here or right click. On right clicking, you are going to get unpivot columns, unpivot other columns, unpivot only selected columns. Just I'm going to click on this. So you are going to get the output like this. This is the same output which you have seen in the Excel sheet. If you are interested, you can keep side by side. Is the point is clear? Unpivot. Just you have to right click on that, click on the unpivot. So now, sir, column names are different. No, sir. Rename. How to rename the column names? Just click on this and you can double click on this directly itself and rename the column name as month. And this one also rename as sales. Okay. And so if you want to do the analysis related to year versus sales, you want to do the analysis with year versus sales, like group by. You want to apply that entire 2022, what is the total amount of sales? 2023 total amount of sales, 2024 total amount of sales. You want to do the analysis in that case. When you want to use this one, in that case, you are going to click on the unpivot. Now, if you want the pivot, already you know how to create the pivot table, because this is nothing but general table in the Power BI. How you are going to create the general table? The same thing. In the rows, what you want, in the columns, what you want. This is generally your table now. Your table already you know, right? What you have to consider on the rows and what you have to consider on the this. Here we are having the option with respect to unpivot. Here also we are having the option for pivot. Now, so it is going to ask based on what column I have to do the pivot month wise. So you are going to get in terms of month wise. And coming back, okay, so you are going to do in terms of yearly. This is month. Every row you are going to get the month. So you are going to get the month like this, or if you want, you can select the year also. Then, sir, you have shown the different now. Then what you have to select? Click on the transform, click on the pivot, and click on the year wise. Then you are going to get year wise. Okay. 1 minute. Click on year wise. January, February, March. Okay. So 1 minute. Transform, pivot column, sales. Okay. Now it is clear. Okay. Now coming to the, let me open the notepad. See, this example I have created in front of you only. The Excel sheet I have created in front of you only, just. Okay. Now note, what are the notepad we are writing earlier? Let us continue in the same notepad. Okay. Now, so in this pivot, what is meant by pivot? Pivot means in terms of you are going to create a table. Pivot means create a table. Pivot table. Okay. In the pivot table, rows will be there, columns will be there. Rows, columns. Rows will be there, columns will be there, internal values will be there. What is meant by rows? What is meant by columns? This is the first question. Column names are there. In the pivot table, column names will be there. Row names. For each row names, along with that internal values. Internal values. Now, what is meant by this? First, let us understand clearly. Now, this data I'm having, this data I want to convert. Okay, you are going to convert. While converting, first tell me what you want on the column. Which one you want in the column? Which one you want in the row? First decide that. I want the row as year. Row as year means 2022, 2023. In this year column, what are the unique values are there? Each unique value will be selected like this. This is called as row names. Each row name. What you want in the columns? columns I want as the month, that is January, February and March. Now internally what you want? Their values. What values? Sales values. Sales values are internal data inside the table. This table, okay, this is the table. In this table, I'm having the rows, column names. These are the row names. These three are called as column names. Is that clear now? Row names and column names. And these are called as internal values. Okay. Now, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to select within the Power Query, okay, whichever the column you are selecting. First select the column. I'm selecting the column and click on the pivot. Which column you have selected, that column will not be shown here. Remaining two columns will be there. In the remaining two columns, which one you want as internal data? Internal data, which one you want? Sales I want as the internal data. I'm clicking on the sales, and whatever the column I have selected, the column will be considered as row names. My column will be selected. Whichever the column I have selected, that one will be selected as the row names, and whatever I'm selecting values, internal values, whatever I'm selecting, that will be internal, and I'm going to get like this. Okay. So here I have selected the, which one I have selected? Year. Since I have selected the year has came into the column name. No sir, I don't want year as the column name. You want what? Month as the column name. So then what you have to select? Select the month and click on the pivot. Then month, okay, month was selected as column names. Internal values, sales are internal values. Click on this. Which column you have selected, that will be selected as column names. Select the column. In this notepad, I am writing clearly. Select column for which you want to create the pivot table. Select the column and click on pivot. Click on pivot, and it will be converted as, in that unique values, each unique value of that column will be converted as each column. Each unique value will be selected as each column. Whichever the column you are selecting, that will be selected as each column name. And internal values, you decide which you want the internal values. Select the internal values. Select internal values. For example, now the same data in the Excel sheet, guys. Okay. Now instead of this one, I want the columns of year. Columns of year. Then what I'm going to get here? 2022. That is the first unique value. What is the second unique value? 2023, 2024. And says first January month. Obviously, the others will be cited in the column. January month, February month, and March. January month, what is the January 2022 sales miss? 12. February miss in the 2022 February 16 and 18. Like this I'm going to get. This is one way to get the values. Second way of getting the values is here January, and this is February, and this is March, and this is 2022, this is 2023, and this is 2024, and here 12, 16, and this is 18. You want like this, sir? You want like this, sir? This way or this way? Is the point is clear? Now, this is one way. So here you are going to get January, that is 15, and February month is 17, and followed by 18. 45, 50, 52. Now here you are going to get 15, 17, 18. And this one 45, 50 and 52. Is that clear? This one and this one. Two tables are there. And third option is in terms of this is a year. Okay. Year. And this is 2022. Again 2022. Again 2022. Again 2022. 23. 2023. 2023. 2024. 2024. And 2024. And this one is month. This is month. And in the month Jan, Feb, March. Again, Jan, Feb, March. Jan, Feb, March. Next says, okay, 12, 16, 18, 15, 17, 18. And 45, 50, this one. Okay, I want like this. This is one way. Okay, so you want like this, like this, like this. Three options are there. Which one you want? The last one is called as transpose. Exactly. The last one is called as transpose. Rows to column, columns to rows I have done basically. The last one is called as transpose. Okay. For example, copy and I'm pasting here. Okay. Separately. What is the sheet name? This one. Now let us give the sheet name as rename transpose. Okay. Here itself in the Power BI. That one also let us complete. Okay. Now here what I'm going to do is within the not Power Query. Okay. So within the Power BI desktop, again, I'm going to load the data. One query, again, problem. What is the problem? Okay, just I'm going to click on the data, Excel sheet and example. In this, I'm trying to load three tables. What are the three tables, miss? One is pivot, unpivot, transpose. Three of them. Pivot is the sheet name and unpivot is the second sheet name. Third sheet name is transpose. You are not able to see the transpose. Why you are not able to see means because I have not clicked on the save. I have to click here first save. Okay. After saving this one, then I have to load here the data. Now again, so pivot, next transpose, next unpivot. Three of them I'm going to load. Total three. Okay. First, let us start with the transpose because it would be simple to understand. So here you are having the transpose like this. Now guys, here column names are not proper now. If you want to bring this year first row as column, what we have to do? In the last class we have discussed. So within the transform, click on the option as use the first row as headers. Can you see here first row, what is the column names you are having? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. But what is the in the my Excel sheet, what is the column names I am having? Just let me open the Excel sheet one more time. In my Excel sheet, what is the column, first column name I'm having? Year 2022, that one is there. But when I have loaded in the Power BI, why it is not showing that one in that one? Because sometimes it will throw this type of problem. This is related to navigation. So when it is trying to navigate, sometimes you are going to get this kind of problem. At the time you are going to use first row as headers. Use first row as headers. Then it will be converted to that one. Is the point is clear? Everyone. Now, next, this one, what are the headers are there? Or if you don't want the headers, just you are trying to bring this one, use headers as first row. Means if you want to bring back, you are going to use like this. Either first row you can use the header, or header you can bring to the first row. And here I'm going to click on the called as transpose. Okay, directly. So I'm going to click on transpose. It was converted. After converting, again, my first row has to be converted to header. What I'm going to do? Click on the first row as headers. This is the output. So after converting row to column, column to row, finally you're going to get this one. Okay, for transpose, this is the answer. After doing the transpose, rows to columns, columns to rows. Is that clear? Transpose is clear now? Rows to columns, columns to rows. Now, next one is in terms of pivot. How to create the pivot table. How to create the pivot table. How to create the unpivot table. Yeah, if required. Why to do that means if required. If any situation, any data you have received in that way, you have not received in this way, you have received in that way, then you are going to do. Is the point is clear? Now, 1 minute. The data was not properly loaded because the previous one I have not kept properly. So just I'm trying to remove them. And after removing them, I'm trying to reload one more time my data set. Okay. Now again coming back. So before moving to the back one, first let me click on the close and apply, because what are the existing one is there, first it has to close. Done. Now I'm going to load the Excel sheet one more time. In the Excel sheet, so here I'm going to take this one. Guys, this is the answer now. I'm showing you the answer here. Now first, for my Excel sheet, answer will not be available, right? In the Excel sheet, only the question will be available. I'm keeping the answer side here. Left side I'm keeping. This is called as answers. Let me rename this sheet name to answers. Okay. Now in my data, while loading, I don't want this one. It will not be available. So I'm deleting this part. Okay. I'm having only this part. So I'm just loading this one, and I'm going to explain for you the how to create the pivot table. So just I'm trying to load this one. Table name is called as pivot. Okay. Click on the pivot and click on the transform the data. Now in the transform data, sir, if I load directly, what happens? Click on the load, then after that click on the transform. Okay. Now how to create the pivot table means, now tell me which column you want as the column names. Select that one. You want the row as the column names. So here I have told you now. Already I have explained this one. Rows to columns, columns to rows. Rows to columns, columns to rows is called as transpose. Let us see first one. I'm going to select this table. What are the table I'm having? I'm just clicking on the transpose. Is that clear? First, last one I have shown you. Within the Excel sheet, this one I'm showing you. This one completed. Okay. Now balance two are there. I have to show you this one and how to create this one. So again, I'm coming back to the original data. Now, if I want the option A, this one, in this way I want, then which one should be considered on the columns? year should be considered. Then which column you have to select here? Year. And after selecting the year, click on the pivot. Click on the pivot, and internal data should be what? Sales. Click on the sales and click on OK. Now option A is completed. Same answer with respect to 2022, 2023 and 2024. And next, sir, here you are having the 16, no sir, here 12 is there, no sir. See, this is February. Just it is going with the alphabetical order. Okay, first F letter followed by J letter followed by M letter. It is just taking in the alphabetical order. If you change this one to alphabetical order, you are going to get in the same way. Just alphabetical order, but row is same. There is no difference in the row. Okay, this is option A, but I want this one, this B option I want. Then what I have to do? Now, which one you want in the columns? Month. So again, what you are going to do? You are going to select the month and click on the pivot column. Then, and internal data should be sales. You are going to get this option. So I have shown you 3 options. Clear, guys? 3 of them is clear now. Now, similarly, if you are already having the pivot table with you, then how to do the unpivot? That one also I have shown you, right? Click on the unpivot. Clear, everyone? Any questions on the pivot and unpivot? And if you want to rename any column name, just double click on that column name and you can click on that. If you want to change the data type from whole number to decimal or decimal to whole number, click on this. Click on this one. Here, if you are having 1, 2, 3, it indicates whole number. If you are having 1.2, dot will be there. In between dot is there. Maybe it is not visible for you. In the laptop who are watching online students, for them it is visible. 1.2. So you are going to get the decimal values. That particular column will be selected with the decimal values. And next one is, if you are clicking on this whole number, it will be converted to whole number. Okay. And if you select this one with respect to percentage, or if you add the dollar symbol like this, you are going to change the data type based on this one. Just you can change the data type like this, right? Or here there is an option called as data type. Click on this and you can change. So here, whatever you are having, everything is clear. Group by I have told you. Columns as headers, or first row as header, or header as first row. 2 options are there. 2 options I have told you. And next one is transpose. This one also I have told you. Next, reverse rows. Reverse rows means bottom row to the top, top row to bottom. Order of the rows will be changed. Okay. If you want to change the order of the rows. Okay. In the reverse order you want to have. Count rows. What is meant by count rows means it is going to count total number of rows. How many rows are there in your data set? Okay, total number of rows, number of records. Okay, it is going, you are going to see total number of records. Okay, next. Again, if you want to bring to the original data, what we have to do, what are the changes we have done? Every change we have to remove here. And if you want to save the change, what we have to do? Click on the apply. Apply means save. This one is undo. If you close that one, it will undo. Is the point is clear, guys? This is undo. Means you don't want that one. If you want to save, after that, click on this apply. It will be saved. Okay. Next, after this, in the transform, you are having in terms of whole number. This is data type wise. Detect data type. Detect data type means based on the internal data, it will only detect that what are the data you are having internal data. According to that, data type will be selected. Okay. Rename. If you want to rename column name, you are going to rename. Directly you can double click on this or you can click on this. Next, replace values. How to replace the values, right? Next, fill. Within the fill, B fill and up fill. I mean, down fill and up fill. Down fill means above value will be filled down. Upfill means below value will be filled with the upper values, wherever the null values are there. Next, pivot, unpivot, move. Move means you are going to move this one left side to right side. Columns. Columns will be moved. Okay, if you want, for example, this column you want at the left, you want to move one step left, or you want to directly bring to the beginning, or if you want to select this column and you want to keep at the ending to end. And this one, this particular column, now you want to move to right side, click on the right, one step right. This is adjusting. And you already know split. In the last class we have discussed text, and we have discussed the number, and we have discussed the date. Everything are covered within the Power Query, within the transform. Everyone, any questions? And add column. This one will add the columns. This will modify on the same column. Directly in the same column, same table, directly it will modify. It will not do in the new. It will not add. Now modification you want to add into a new one. Then you are going to click on the add column. Means, to be more simplified, within the pandas, whatever we have done, you are going to save in the left side with the same variable, or if you want to create a new variable. New variable you are writing on the left side means add column. If you are writing in place is equal to true means within the same column means transform only. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So that is the end of the session for today. And tomorrow we are going to discuss data modeling. So I have completed in terms of table view, report view. What are the various options of report or plots are possible? Table view. Okay. Now finally what's left is, next one is this one. Okay. Directly we are having with respect to this. Okay. That is model view. Model view means we are having the multiple tables. And if you having any connection between them, you are going to connect. How you are going to connect means within one of them, you have to drag like this and you have to make the connection. Here we are having the different types of cardinality. That is one to one, one to many, many to one. Like this, what are these options? Everything we'll discuss in detail. Okay, it is some kind of ER diagram within the SQL. Both are same, basically. Okay, literally, again, we are doing the complete data analytics with Power BI. We have completed almost the course of data analytics with Power BI we are doing. Basically, data cleaning will be done in the Python, I have told you. ER diagram we have to do in the SQL, I have told you. Literally, we are doing both of them also in the Power BI. Tomorrow, we are going to cover this one for 9 AM batch, exclusively for 9 AM batch. Okay, and if any other students, I can't share with other students because 10:30 again, if I share the link means that link will be used for every day now. Again, it is going to be a problem, and that too in the WebEx, you have to online students, you have to join directly by using the WebEx app only. So that is not possible. So tomorrow what I'm going to do is in terms of for anyways, this is not that much of required for you. If right, this is also not related to you. Just anyways, I'm taking for the 9 AM and you are sitting ideal now. So that is the reason I have taken the special class, something like this. But basically, data cleaning will be done in the Python. Right? Done. If you are having any questions, you can ask. And whenever I take that one project, most probably tomorrow data modeling is completed. Means day after tomorrow, we are going to have the Power BI project. At that time, I'll share you again the special link and we'll discuss that one. You can attend that one. Okay, so that you can write in the resume also. Okay, done. Yeah, classroom recordings will be uploaded. I have not received because today's Sunday now, backend team is not working. Most probably tomorrow morning you'll receive by your class time. By your class time you'll receive. Manjari is asking the question when the syllabus will be completed. Yes, For 9 a.m. batch, guys, particularly, of course, I'm not going to write Monday, Tuesday like this. If I write means, surely I will take the leave on this week. It is my sentiment. I have observed for multiple times. As per my data analytics, I have observed that one. If I'm writing day one, this one, Monday, this one, Tuesday, this one, means surely in that week I'm taking the leave. So at this time, I'll not write like that. Okay. But I'll say one thing clearly. Okay. So the thing is, now what are the balance part was left out is data modeling within the Power BI, data modeling. In the data modeling only, the cardinality and facts and dimensions, schema, all these multiple words will come. These are all comes we are going to complete in the tomorrow's class. I mean, next class. Okay. I'll not say particular day. Again, if okay, as per my sentiment, I'll not say the day. Simple. Okay. After data modeling was completed, we are going to do the data analytics project with Power BI. Okay, one complete project. After this, now before to your Shankranti, we are going to cover the Excel, Microsoft Excel for data analytics batch. 10:30 batch, shift delete. This is not related to you. Okay. And for 9 a.m. batch only, I'm saying before Shankranti, we are going to complete the Excel. And within the Excel, how we have to do the data analysis. Excel already you know the basics, rows, columns, everything that you know. Just I'm going to show from data analysis point of view. There is one particular tool is there within the data Excel only. One tool will be available called as data analysis that you have to install within the Excel, right? And that one we are going to cover. This will be covered before your Pongal holidays. Don't ask when is the Pongal holidays, but before to that, whenever it is. Okay, I also don't know. If you are interested, contact the Naresh IT team. Okay, sir, I have to book the tickets, miss. Even I also want to book the tickets. If you know, miss, first you tell me. In reverse, you tell me. Okay, for you and for me, they are going to disclose on the same day only. Maybe 5 minutes before to you. Nothing special for me. Okay, I also don't know when is the Pongal holidays, when to book the tickets. I'm also waiting for the same. Okay, randomly guessing. 100% next Sunday will not be there. That is for sure. So I am assuming till Saturday the classes will be there. Okay, before to you, Excel will be completed. After Pongal holidays, finally will be left out with Tableau. By end of this month, everything will be covered, completed. Data analytics course will be completed. Okay, if possible, after Pongal holidays, I'm going to keep the class. The first class after the Pongal holidays will be the most important class for you, which is called as resume. How to build the resume. Before to your Tableau itself, I will show you how to build the resume so that you can start applying. Why I will keep the generally most important class after the Pongal holidays, miss, to make sure that students are returning on time. If I don't keep the important class, that you will take light now generally by default. So same way. Generally after the holidays, first class I will keep the most important class, which is the most important. If I say like this, at least some people will come. Whether I'll take or not, that is secondary. Done? Is that clear, guys? Yeah. If you are having any questions, you can ask. And by end of this month, everything will be completed. Nothing will be pending. And you can open your syllabus copy and check each and everything. If everything is clear and everything was completed, then we'll close the batch. Okay. Done. Sir, how I can pick the perfect data set for Power BI project from Kaggle? So you can either select the Sage data set, HR data set, or healthcare data set, finance data set. These are the 4 areas, domains. Majorly focus on these 4. Out of these 4, sales, HR, finance, healthcare. From these 4 domains, please select any one. Sai Teja. Sir, can we attend the class? Yes, if offline class students, you can attend even 9 a.m. class also for tomorrow. Okay, don't attend all the classes. Then there will be no difference between data analytics versus data science. it is going to be equal to, for data science course, data analytics will be free course. Okay, done. Rakesh, if you have some time, please visit Prayag, Uttar Pradesh. It is starting from 14th Jan. Okay, Mahakumbh Mela, done. For me also, it is going on like that only in my office, literally. Okay, done. Others, you can leave. If no questions, you can leave. 1 minute. ఇప్పుడు upload చేస్తాను. Just give me 5 minutes of time. I'm going to upload everything now itself. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah, from tomorrow 9 a.m. batch will be regular class with your regular link. No difference. Regular class, regular link, everything is same. No difference. In the same way, how you are going to join every day, in the same way you have to join. No difference. 10:30 also same. At 10:30. 10:30 batch at 10:30 also same. No difference. Done. You can leave. Yeah, I'm going to upload the hackathon solution also. What are the pending things are there in the Google Drive? Everything will be uploaded just in 5 minutes. Just check your drives in 5 minutes.